Hello, it's Kindo, and today we are back with another Tuesday tutorial, our trickiest tutorial yet, the inward Ksnare. So this is a really tricky one, so if this is a bit of a longer video, just bear with me. I'm going to try to explain it the best I can. For me personally, this was harder than lip rolls, throat bass. For me, this is my hardest sound, in my opinion. This one, I figured it out, and then I cleaned it up for like a year, and even now, I'm still not happy with how it sounds. But it just takes a lot of time. It's either going to be a sound that you figure out like this, or it's going to be a sound that's a progression sound, where it's over time, it just gets cleaner and cleaner, and you just got to work on it. Practice makes perfect, right? Let's try this. So, if you remember, I think it was tutorial 3 or tutorial 4, we did the outward Ksnare. We did that one, right? Just do that again. Let's just start with the outward Ksnare. So, we're there. Now, instead of just doing that, when you do that, it's just your tongue. There's no breath. It's just your tongue. Breathe it out. So where your tip of the tongue's going on the roof, like that, push out while keeping it there. And you're going to get this. It's just going to sound like a breath. From there, that's perfect. Take the tip of your tongue where it's at and push it really hard. So it's already, like, here's the roof of your mouth. It's doing this. Push really hard and put pressure. You're going to get a duck sound now. And it'll almost tickle your tongue. It'll feel really weird. So it's going to go from this to this. Or it's going to be one of those. It's going to have this. It's going to have a duck sound to it. You hear it. It's still, that's just an outward Ksnare still. It's still, but now it's with breath. So now we're with it. If you work on that a little bit, this is what I did to get mine. I worked on that pressure till I could just get it down and control it. From there, take that same pressure where your tongue's at, and instead of pushing out so hard, and now breathe it in, and it's gonna get a lower tone. So instead of you hear how it's inward. Now it's inward. And it's a little bit of a lower tone. That's what you should be That's what you should be aiming for. Let me put it that way. Now with the this is so tricky. With the Ksnare, there's like a pop off point. Even with the outward Ksnare, it's not as powerful, but there's still there's a pa to it. Right? Same thing with this one. There's that pat 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 pat. There's that pop to it. Okay? All that pop is the duck. That's why I said really work on the pressure at first, because if you can get that pressure, all you have to do now is, instead of doing an outward K, which if you remember going ka inwards. So right where that pressure's at, hit it. So just breathe it in, and then as you're breathing in, try to go ka and pop off. It's really tricky to explain. I'm using the tip of my tongue, putting it in the middle, but it's popping off almost on like the left side of my tongue. Like, I don't know how much you guys can see that, but it's like popping off here, okay? But the pressure's in the center. It's really tricky to explain. But if you can combine those two, that's your inward Ksnare. At least that's how I do my inward Ksnare. So one more way to practice this, because I do practice it this way too. Remember the outward and inward TK tutorial we did a couple weeks ago? That thing? The inward TKs, since it's TKs, that inward K you're doing, that's your Ksnare. You just need to get that duck pressure now. So if you can go like and work on that pressure, that's exactly where your Ksnare is, and you can eventually get TKs to become T inward Ks. So instead of, you can get really tricky sound. Work on this one. Either, like I said, you're going to get it immediately, or it's going to be a progression sound like it was for me. Like I said, this sound, I figured out the concept of it, but it really took me a good, like, honestly, year to almost probably year and a half to really clean it up and get it down. So just keep trying. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment below. I'll always answer to you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this helps someone.